we headed down to fish with Captain Chuck Ragan in Northern California. Now, a couple years back, I came down with a good friend of mine, Travis, and we fished with Chuck on Lake Orville for spotted bass.
What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. What's up, boys? Hey, Adam. Good to see you,
Good to meet you, man.
AJ, nice to meet you.
AJ, good to see you, pal.
So a few months ago, I got online and I noticed that Chuck has a really convenient online scheduling system on his website, and he had a couple open days. So I booked him, got a hold of him, squared it all away, and we burned down the first chance we got.
Hoping we find a big girl today.
We ripped across the lake and got to business right away. Now, Chuck has been doing this for quite some time, and he's got the program dialed. Travis and I came down and had a great day with him the last time, and I've been telling Adam about it for a couple years. But with the pandemic and other business things, it just didn't quite work out for us to come down.
No, it's in Rough and Ready.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Strip that line in and give
The
it a
day
little
started out a little bit slow, and then whammo, it just turned on.
buddy who had yes, sir. Spotted bass. We gotta start somewhere, I guess, Adam.
Northern California this time of year is an absolutely beautiful place, but this year is something exceptional. There's more water in Northern California and pretty much the whole state than we've seen in probably over a decade.
Yeah, buddy. There it is. Nice.
Chuck runs the float and fly method in the early spring and sometimes in the winter for spotted bass on multiple reservoirs in Northern California. With snowpacks way above normal, all of the reservoirs are almost to the top. Every tributary that dumps into them is just raging. It's a beautiful sight.
Hey, good read on that, Adam. See how subtle that bite can be?
Yeah.
Like it just barely.
Once that little clear float kicks to 90 degrees, you're fishing. And from my understanding, you're mimicking a bait pattern, and these fish are pretty lethargic. They're all just kind of hanging out on the bed. The water temperature is still kind of cold, and the bite's pretty subtle. So as soon as you see that float give a little twitch, it's go time.
I'm a happy dude right now. This is exactly what I've been telling Adam about for years.
Yeah.
Gotta get down there and do that.
Uh-oh, they're getting bigger. Oh, they're getting bigger, I guess. I mean, who knows who really kind of, I'm sure people were doing this a long time ago.
What is the difference between a spotted bass and a large mouth?
Next one we get, I'll show you. There's a few kind of identification factors that come in. One usually, the main one is a true spot has a tooth patch on its tongue.
Okay.
Like this kind of rough sandpapery tooth patch, it's called. The other one is their jaws are hinged closer, more into the middle of the eye. Rather than a largemouth, their jaw is hinged way back behind the eye, giving them a bigger mouth.
Yeah.
Right?
So they're sort of like halfway between a smallmouth and a largemouth.
Somewhat, yeah.
Boy. Been a while since cast the old fly rod. See?
Now with the float and fly method, you don't have to be a professional caster to make things happen. Pretty much any half-ass roll cast will get the job done.
That one was just sitting on the bottom, huh? Ooh, that one.
Now these days are interesting out here. You can get into a ton of fish, but they might not be super large fish. However, bass on the fly is fun as hell, and these fish bite like crazy. A lot of them are good trout-sized bass, and so on light fly gear, this is one hell of a day.
It's gonna haul ass and head down the hill. Shit, where's the clicker?
We headed out to a couple of Chuck's favorite spots and started working the banks.
Come on, be a big one. Be a big one. You didn't spend all them years guiding for nothing, man.
What's funny is this is exactly, like, to a T, this is exactly how we fish, like Andy's Lake with chromatids.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, like tungsten headed.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we'll even use a bugger in front of them,
Yeah.
you know, but let them sink, twitch them, let them sink, twitch them.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Exactly like this.
Yeah, man, gorgeous day. Not only, oh, get him. Oh, trouty. Is it trouty? You got traps. Oh, double trouble. Double trouble. Let's go. Yeah. Hey, buddy. Nice little trout. Yeah, man. Get him. Look at that pretty little guy.
That's a Rogue River steelhead. I'll take it. That's killer. Heck yeah. Nice.
Let's go. Let's go. Might have liked a little bit of that water dumping in. Chunker.
Yeah, most of these fish have been on the drop of the initial cast.
Yep. Yeah, they'll do that. Got release.
That's crazy stuff.
Oh, that's a fish.
Alan, where? Oh shit, it is. I was twitching it. You weren't kidding.
was a kid,
swing runs. But then
I inherited my grandpa's fly rod. And I used to sit in the, like in front of the house in the street. I put a paper plate out in the street, and I'd cast just a ball of fluff and try to hit the plate with this big old 2x4 of a fiberglass rod that was my grandpa's. It was fun, you know. There's a tool for every job, you know. I think bass fishing on the fly it's a whole different game, obviously, but it's so much fun.
It was fun.
So much fun. So do you think your upbringing, where you're from, all of that, growing up over there, fishing in those places and everything that you experienced growing up, is influenced your ability to take something like this and make it, like you're passionate about it? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like
Where other folks
may have not ever been able to take something like this and make a living out of it. You know what I mean? Or wouldn't have thought about it. I don't know anybody else that does what you do, the way you do it, you know? Well, and I mean, I'm not from here, so maybe there are a few other guys, but is there?
I mean, that kind of do the river stuff and the lake stuff, and
yeah,
what do you mean?
Just your focus. I mean, you do a lot of bass on the fly, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I grew up bass fishing. You know, that was a huge part of my life. Like everyone in my family, both sides of the family. You know, grandparents on both sides of the family. My dad was a pro golfer, but we always said that if he wasn't a pro golfer, he probably would have been a pro bass fisher. He had an old Skeeter, and we used to run around and just learned a ton, you know. But yeah, I mean, I think the passion, you know, I owe all that to my upbringing. Yeah. You know, and it's the same reason that we take Cast Hope so seriously, you know, in getting kids into the outdoors, you know, where, you know, I was lucky enough to be raised by parents and grandparents who lit a spark, you know, lit a little fire, lit a spark in me, showed me something. Same with you guys. You wouldn't be here otherwise. Somebody at some point in your life showed you something that blew your mind, that was so special, right? That had in the outdoors, and whether it was camping or fishing or hiking or just sitting somewhere, but it piqued your interest. It exhilarated you, right? And then as we grow older, we keep following that passion. But as we grow older, we start realizing the importance of sharing it. And that, you know, if we don't share it, man, like it just becomes out of sight, out of mind. For, you know, there's such a huge part of our society that's just, you know, shrouded with conveniences, and they're just losing touch with Mother Nature.
And it just takes that one little spark, you know?
But I mean, that's to answer your question in a long way, I guess. That's a huge reason, man. I mean, my parents, my grandparents, you know, my friends as I grew older, people that I learned and mentored under, and
Do you think that sort of upbringing is maybe more prevalent in the South? No.
I mean, look at you guys. Look at Dustin. Look at Trav. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't. I think, I mean, there's people all over this planet, you know, who were raised in those ways, or what we would say raised right, you know. where there was an importance on knowing where your food came from. There was importance on knowing how to build a fire. You know what I mean? Like that's important things for a kid to know. You know,
It's an important thing for an adult to know.
yeah.
Now again, the scenery alone is worth the price of admission. Chuck takes care of you, he teaches you, he's very calm, he's very knowledgeable, and a super fun guy to fish with. But add the scenery on top of that, and it's just absolutely amazing.
For what it was.
Yeah. Was the house in decent shape?
It was dated.
Yeah.
It was old.
Yeah.
Like,
Who cares?
Like late 70s, like
Yeah.
they hadn't. Little guy. Just couldn't get the motor. Healthy little brothers. On the dang old screamer.
Deep on that.
Yeah.
Working that thing slow.
So some of these, like in these deep spots, you can almost like Did you get that? That bobber?
Feisty.
It's so clear down in here, like crazy visibility. Like it gets really, really clean.
Had a boy.
Sitting there running his job. Having his job.
Bullshit bite.
Bullshit bite.
Almost as good as a cell phone bite.
Yeah.
As expected, the fishing kinda slowed down a little bit in the afternoon as the water temperature came up. So we started exploring the reservoir and all of the cool things it had to offer.
Of a good one, you know? And, damn. Okay. Okay.
That's how we roll.
Yes, sir.
I got a surprise in the middle.
I haven't had anything like that in a long time. There's our dinner.
As the day started winding down, we decided to just crack a few beers, crack some jokes, hang out on the water, and just enjoy the day. We had caught so many fish at that point, it was just kind of like, who cares? We'll keep fishing, but let's just enjoy the rest of the day on the boat. Now, many of you guys know Chuck Ragan, the fishing guide, but I know Chuck as Chuck Ragan, the musician. That's where I first met him. I'm a huge fan of his band Hot Water Music. I'm a huge fan of his solo work, and I'm an even bigger fan of the guy. One of the great things about hanging out with Chuck is that when you're fishing with him, he's all business. He's all about fishing. There's no way you would know that 2 days ago he was screaming at the top of his lungs in front of 10,000 people in an arena somewhere.
A buddy of mine sent me a picture of this gorgeous, he's like a tournament bass dude.
Yeah.
He's a badass. Ryan Monaghan, like he's a bad man jamming.
Yeah.
And sent me a picture of this beautiful, huge trout. Just like
Holding it like a bass.
like holding it like a bass. That's what I said. I was like held like a typical bass
pro.
master, you know.
It's just a fun, different thing to do. You know, you never really see anybody doing this.
What do you got? Like,
Yeah, I'm not sharing that.
yeah, all right.
About time one of those stuck to that thing.
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah.
I sometimes wonder if people in Chuck's position truly understand the impact that they have on people's lives, whether it be music or fishing. This guy literally creates memories, long-lasting life memories, with everyone that he comes in contact with. That's a special skill. There are not many people who can do that. And there are not many people who can say that they've not only been successful at one career, but 2 careers. And on top of that, 2 of the hardest careers to actually be successful at. Chuck is an inspiring guy, and I'm proud to call him a friend.
With these flies right in the roof of their mouth every time.
After some solid boat shenanigans, we headed back in, loaded up our stuff, and got ready to go.
Every time, right?
Pounds of sausage.
It was good.
So if you're thinking you want to head to Northern California to do some fishing, give Chuck a call. He's a great guy to fish with, and you won't be disappointed.
Well done, buddy.
Oh, gracias, man.
Yeah. There you go.
You know, it seems like no matter what type of fishing we're doing, we're always having a blast. Whether it's conventional gear, fly, salmon, trout, steelhead, bass, catfish, it doesn't matter. If you're having fun, that's what it's all about.